And welcome in, folks, here to Out to Lunch on WRMN AM 1410. We're broadcasting live here from Studio 14, serving you, the Fox River Valley area. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today and being a part of the conversation. You can listen to us through that AM 1410 dial. You can also check us out on our YouTube page, youtube.com/WRMN radio. If you want to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell. You can always keep yourself up to date and in the loop with what's happening here in the Fox River Valley, what's going on here on WRMN. This show, Out to Lunch, is sponsored by St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin. Get back to doing what you love with expert orthopedic and spine care at St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin. From advanced surgery to personalized rehab, our specialists are with you throughout your care journey. St. Joseph Hospital is a proud member of Prime Healthcare, and they're here to keep you moving. So schedule your appointment today by calling 847-931-5525 or visit their website at stjosephelgin.com. Today is the second Thursday of the month here during the 11 o'clock hour, which means, of course, we have our Committee of the Whole and regular City Council meeting recap from last night, March 11th. Now, of course, we always advise if you did miss out on the meeting, you can find it on their website. That is elginvideo.cityofelgin.org/internet channel. If you go to that particular channel, you'll be able to find the city council meetings, including all the previous ones too, if you want to check it out. Now, if you click on the specific meeting, you can actually go through the entire agenda list. If you happen to miss anything or you did miss the meeting, you can also go through the chapters. If you're looking for something particular that was mentioned at these meetings, you can go through those chapters and view it for yourself. So it's very easily and readily available for the community of Elgin out there to check it out. And of course, today we have Mayor Dave Captain joining us live here in Studio 14. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning.
Good morning. And I am enjoying this beautiful weather today. I know it's been kind of wacky a little bit, as expected, with those big flurries yesterday.
That's for sure. Yep. And what's that old thing? March is in like a lion and out like a lamb. I don't know if that counts or not, but
Yeah.
doesn't seem to. It's kind of like a roller coaster and always is. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get started here. Of course, the meeting was yesterday,
Yep.
and you have quite a few different agendas. And towards the end, we'll talk about a specific one too. But I wanted to start off here with item A, which is Electronic Citation Software Services Agreement. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, and it's a renewal of an agreement. We're going to try it. It takes care of some adjudication stuff for us and information services through the city and software. The only issue with it's on both agendas. They needed to get it approved, and the only issue that came up was the privacy that
Mhm.
goes with it. How much of the information that's on there is accessible, and are people's identities protected and that type of thing. So
Okay.
we had some assurances that that's the case, but we go through this and there's a trial period to see how it works, and that's the contract's been going to be awarded, and it's going to be on for a number of years, but there's a chance for us to still test it and see how it works out. But
Very
it's
good.
we're going to start looking at that probably for all information services
Okay.
to make sure that people's privacies are secured. And we always have issues about, just like anybody else does, about people just not normal access, but hacking and those types of things as
Mhm.
well. What's on there? What can they find?
Right.
And so we have to try to provide protection the best we can. So
Absolutely. With, a lot of scams going on and technology's growing, there's always everyone's always having to be a step ahead, right?
yeah,
Especially these companies and corporations.
and it's just you have to be cautious and
Mhm.
don't give your information out. And there's it's gotten so hard to deal with for people, even people at home, with people calling, and there's a name, might be some name recognition attached to it, and they can do voice layovers that show that
Mhm.
actually sounds like the person.
Yes.
So there's some really tough things here, and I know Sherry Ashenbrenner talks about that a
Mhm.
lot,
Yep.
and for seniors, just be cautious who you talk to. And I tell my wife, I said, don't give out anything with a number on it.
Right. And
And
it can be tough to recognize whether something is real or a scam too.
exactly,
Yeah.
and they tell you to be careful, even when you answer the phone. They might say, "Is this David Captain?" And I might say, "Yes," and they say that's something to be alert about too, because
Yep.
they record the yes, and that might be used to say that I agreed to buy something.
And the
And
scary thing is too with AI that they don't even require tons of, a whole sentence. It can even just be a couple words
yeah,
that you say and then they can manipulate it to a whole. It's a very scary thing, but
it
that's why there are initiatives out there and people who can help out.
it is, and we have obviously we have tons of data that we try to protect, and so we're trying to be more diligent about that. And some of the things that we're going to be spending money on are going to be protection for that, and
Absolutely.
trying to keep up with issues that are going on around us. So,
Well, I hope it goes well. I
all
really
right,
do.
it is.
Definitely.
We
Yeah.
all do.
Yes, definitely. The second one here, I know that there were some special presentations and reports if you wanted to talk about some of that here.
Yeah, the first one is was a presentation, and the next item on the committee of the whole agenda was the a purchase of service agreement for the Elgin Development Group and the Chamber of Commerce,
Very
and
nice.
they did a presentation to talk about um, their successes and what they've been doing for the last year. It's a 3-year agreement at $355,000 a year with a 3% annual increase. So council agreed after the presentation. They voted 7-0 with one abstention to approve the contract. And that now will be coming back uh, to the regular council meeting in 2 weeks. And again, these things take almost a month to go through the council process.
Hmm.
And they'll be back in 2 weeks. But their proposal and their presentation was very good. Just some of the highlights. Let me try to dig through some of this for a second. And
Hmm.
some of the things they have. I asked them how many members they have, and they have about 500 members,
Wow.
small and large organizations.
Hmm.
They cover 38 square miles, 5,200 businesses in the area. Even though they may not be a member, that they do represent them and try to help them if they can.
Hmm.
Um, 44 square miles of commercial space. And in the past, they've brought back a number of initiatives and helped Elgin's labor force grow. Part of the purchase of service agreement um, asks them to help improve the workforce, to keep track of what businesses are doing. And in their presentation, Tony Lysenko brought up that not only do they look at bringing new businesses to Elgin, but they also help out ones that we just had one that closed in Elgin, and Print Pack uh, went out, closed their business in Elgin, and they had a number of employees, over 100 employees there. And Elgin Chamber worked with them, went out and talked to them, and through chamber connections, tried to help them find new jobs. And so there is some connections to that. They do more than just bring businesses in. They help businesses that may have left. And turned out to be a good thing. They found some people came back, and another organization came back and purchased the building and are looking at going back into the same business.
Nice. That's
So
very good.
the transition is going to be a little bit better, a little bit easier. Um, their 9-year growth, jobs have gone up. The gross domestic product in Elgin for the last 9 years since under the contract has increased by 1.42 billion dollars.
Wow.
So quite a bit for the city of Elgin.
Hmm.
The last 6 years alone was over $400 million. So they brought some revenue back to the city of Elgin and have done a great job. The uh, things that they look at are also education. They go out and meet with businesses. Obviously, we go out and do. I go out with them on occasion, do ribbon cuttings. We also go out and look at new businesses that come in, and oftentimes a business will come and want to meet with um, the chamber or the development group, and they will connect to want to talk to the mayor
Hmm.
or to the city manager as part of the process. How are we coming to Elgin? What do we do? And what my job is to make them feel welcome here.
Yeah.
And it's a place that you want to be, and not just the I'll tell you, Matt, one of the things that really has improved is discussions of quality of life and education.
Mhm.
And it's more than just bringing the business here and making the widget or whatever they do. They also want to create a good environment for their employees.
Mhm.
So that's becoming a bigger part of what Elgin does. And Elgin Development Group and the Chamber do a great job of doing.
I love that. And you know, I mentioned this many times before. Of course, we're leading our future when it comes to the education side of things,
Yeah.
especially for young students, so we can continue to grow Elgin. So that's very important. So again, that is a great way to provide economic development services, including small business assistances, business retention outreach, and foreign trade initiatives, and other similar programs. So that is very good.
It is.
The next one on here is the Pingree Grove Roundabout at Rhine
Right.
King Road and Damish Road. Is that right?
Damish.
Damish Road.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a
And
little bit about that.
that's been part of changes out in the Pingree Grove area, and this goes back, um, Matt, I think almost 20 years. And as part of this, there's a development that's in the city of Elgin, built going to be built by the Shodine Development Company. I believe I was on planning at that time, or just about the time I got on city council. So that's almost 20 years ago. And the development is right in an area where these roads kind of intersect. And
Mhm.
there's some traffic issues there, how to get people in and out. And this has been an ongoing discussion because it involves partly Route 20,
Mhm.
and they're looking at roundabout to help move the traffic flow a
Okay.
little bit, and it's going to be a little bit disruptive. We had the agreement with them. We met with staff, and I met with the mayor and the village manager from Pingree Grove to talk about getting this a roundabout done and helping move traffic from this new development and into Elgin. And because of the growth in Pingree Grove that's already there, we're really starting to have some traffic issues.
Mhm.
But the roundabout should help that. And many of our discussions here, we're talking about how the roads are going to have to be closed, who's going to pay for this, the timing for these things. And
Mhm.
it's going to be a little bit of a traffic problem till it's done, but we anticipate it'll be finished up by the end of this year and hopefully before the weather gets too bad. And
Mhm.
close involves Highland Avenue is a city street that runs all the way out there. We have to maintain part of Highland Avenue. And so there's some shared streets that are out there, and that's where this agreement comes
Mhm.
in. And it's an intergovernmental agreement on how to move forward.
And again, people can take, you know, the back routes if need be, especially when construction is there, and this gives people a heads up notice about it too. So again, that is the Pingree Grove roundabout that is going to be coming up here at no cost there. I know you said yes, so I'm familiar with where that is. So there has been some of the traffic flow that can be kind of scary when you're making that turn.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, we've had some discussions here recently about the roundabouts that have been in Elgin. And a couple of them have been taken out.
Hmm.
And they were really designed in too small an area, so they couldn't be big enough. This is going to be designed a little bit. Hopefully, it's going to be a better design, so it's able to handle truck traffic a little bit better
Hmm.
and be a little bit safer for people. It's going to be on some major streets out there, or highways out there. So it's pretty important to be able to move that traffic around.
Definitely, absolutely. The next one on this list we have is the official zoning map for 2026. So I know that's complying with with the state requiring that you get the annual adoption and publication of an
Yeah.
official zoning map.
Yes, and we have to do that. It creates our zoning ordinance and helps codify that. Also, one of the things that we've been getting a lot of that have to be included in some of these things for growth and development. It's not part of this agreement, but I get updates from FEMA for floodplain mapping. And years ago, because of the way they had to do it with a surveyor, and survey the areas along the river and along the creek to see where the high water levels were. They only used to do it about once every 10 years, but
Okay.
now they can do it with satellite and computer technology
Hmm.
allows them to do that, and they update those much quicker. So we have a list. I get it about once every year now, a list of properties that uh, previously were not in the floodplain, but they're being notified that they're in the floodplain.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is it goes out to the insurance companies.
Yes.
And the insurance company will contact them and say, well, you have a property that's now in the floodplain and it's going to affect your
Mhm.
insurance costs. So we do get upgrades on that, but we have to keep up. And technology again is helping us do that. But at the same time, it makes the response a little bit quicker for us. And these things are not sitting there. They're not a bunch of guys standing around looking over a big blueprint anymore. It's all
Mhm.
done with computer technology. So it's just new technology that brings these to us in a much more frequent timeline.
Yes, and like you said, it's a faster way to get the word out to people,
Yes,
which is very important. So that's very good.
exactly. And we're balancing a lot of things here. I'm on a stormwater committee for Kane County. We look at the rainfall levels. How often do those go up? So there are a lot of moving parts to this type of thing.
Mhm.
And how do we zone things for commercial, industrial are also part and parcel to that.
Definitely. We've also got here a grant award recommendation here. It's Cultural Arts Commission
Yes.
2026.
They've awarded their grants, about 70,000, $60,000 worth of grants that go out to art groups for
Awesome.
projects that they're going to do this year. And we have quite a list that most of them are under $10,000. All of them are under $10,000, but it helps arts groups complete some projects. And it's an involved process that goes on a point system. They're all reviewed by the commission, and recommendations are made by the commission, Arts Commission, as to who gets funding for what and on the value of some of their projects. And some of the higher um, funded ones, for example, are Hamilton Wings is doing a students creating an opera. They got $9,571. Elgin Symphony is getting $9,700 for celebrating Elgin's cultural heritage. Adopt a school program, and Side Street Studios getting $9,500 for a free arts education program for young people.
That's
So
good.
those are just a smattering of what's going to be involved here, and we do have applications that come in, and that's quite a process to go through to review those and award the money. So we try to do due diligence on those, and then they do follow up, make sure that got done, and that the money that was awarded was spent appropriately.
Definitely. And again, awarding these grants to especially cultural arts, which is very rich in Elgin, it's becoming richer. It's definitely going to help people to want to be in Elgin, to do business in Elgin when it comes to the cultural arts side of things, especially if someone's moving to Elgin for the first time. This is a great way to, um, y- you know, support these local programs, especially for the arts, because it's important to have that in a city.
Exactly, and it's they try to do some of the groups have been around for a number of years, and some are brand new
Hmm.
that get so it's really a real cross section of arts in Elgin and the different types of things that are available.
Definitely. And speaking again here with cultural arts, there's a cultural arts and special events department outdoor event that's an incentive program coming up.
Right, and that's we had a presentation from Amanda Harris and her team to talk about the upcoming events for this year, and that's really part of the culmination of the work from the Cultural Arts Commission and through the special events, and talked about some of the things that are going to be going on in Elgin. And this particular one was for a recommendation for encore events, and those are the biggest events that. The most well-attended
Hmm.
events, and those would include um, State Line Production for the Elgin Micheleros Festival, received a grant of $28,000, $28,500. Elgin Pride Parade will receive $30,000, and the Mike Page Foundation will receive $25,600 for Love on the Lawn Music Festival.
Nice.
Others that groups have applied for this, and it's a thing that's again it's on a point system for the city to look at this, and that was the impetus for that part of our um, agenda. But the real discussion came about with the recap and for 2025 of the events that were held and the preview for 2026. And Elgin's going to be full. of events
Mm.
this year. My understanding is, and from Amanda Harris, that at this time there are only 3 weekends in the whole summer through the end of the year. I guess almost through the end of the year that are not having an event. So we have something going on almost every weekend
Wow,
for
that's
people.
awesome.
A lot of different things. Um, Obviously, our big festival, and we're going to be working pretty hard here on what's coming up at the 4th of July. It is the 250th birthday of our country, and
Mhm.
how the city's going to celebrate this. And that's something that's going to be really occupy a lot of time
Mhm.
for the city. We're asking for people that have ideas to come in. And one thing that did come up, it's not part of the agenda, but it was at the very beginning. We had a proclamation that went out for the uh, really, it's about an event that happened 50 years ago. And the award was for, getting back to my notes here,
Mhm.
the award went out. To the Reed Lewis proclamation for a canoe trip that was made to follow the LaSalle canoers from their event that was over 50 years ago. It's the 50th anniversary of the canoers that went all the way from Montreal, Canada, down to Mississippi. And they were all
Nice.
from Elgin and from Larkin High School and spent the whole summer going across the canoeing. They did a recreation. They all took on a role of a person that was on the trip. The display is at the Elgin Public Museum out in Lords Park, so you can view that. So this is going to be something Councilman Steffen's going to take the lead on this, and we want to kind of celebrate that 50-year event.
Definitely.
And a very important part of Elgin. It's a unique thing
Mhm.
for the city of Elgin. Unique for our city and unique for the United States. So that's a pretty important part of what's going to happen with this, and it's going to be kind of tied into the 250th birthday. A lot of the things going on this year are a follow up. We have one other project that's going to come up, and if you like jigsaw puzzles, Elgin's going to have its own jigsaw puzzle,
Wow.
and it's called the Dowdle Project. And this gentleman goes around the United States and he puts together a jigsaw puzzle of your community
Mhm.
uh, and highlights all the parts that he feels are important. That's going to be unveiled for the city of Elgin in June,
That's
and he
great.
sells these. We're going to have a big display. I believe Amanda said it's almost 8 by 10 square feet,
Mhm.
a jigsaw puzzle, and they're going to be for sale in different sizes, a couple different sizes for people to buy at home, and they'll be going on sale nationwide through some of the major marketplaces like Walmart, Target, places like that. So
That's
Elgin will
fantastic.
have its own jigsaw puzzle, and for jigsaw puzzle enthusiasts, which my wife loves to do, that'll be something for people to put together.
Very cool. That is really, really awesome. That's really cool. Folks, we'll take a quick time out. We'll be back with more here on Out to Lunch, WRMN AM 1410. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in just a little bit. And welcome back, folks, here to Out to Lunch on WRMN AM 1410. We are broadcasting live here from Studio 14, serving you, the listeners out there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. We are doing our Elgin City Council Committee of the Whole and regular City Council meeting recap today. Thank you again to Mayor Dave Captain for coming in today to talk with us about this.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Let's further go down the list here. We have an initiative here. Really, what it is talking a little bit about the traffic monitoring software that is coming up here. If you want to discuss a little bit about this, it's called Urban SDK.
Yes, and it's really will help us uh, help the city better address traffic issues in the city of Elgin. And when you think about it, we have different departments that have different issues, and sometimes the communication can be a little rough between them, and it'll help them keep current. The police department, public works, engineering, community development. When they have projects going on or there are issues out there, it'll help them communicate. Uh, One of the things, and I get this fairly frequently. People call and ask about why aren't the traffic signals um, timed better so traffic flows through downtown
Mhm.
better. And some of those things might be addressed with this, and we might be able to help traffic flow a little bit better. But again, this is going to be kind of critical for us here in the near future because of downtown construction on our bridges,
Yes.
for example.
Mhm.
And how's the traffic flow? Many of these things now we can, um, uh, because the very applications that are on cell phones might allow people that are coming home from work to find out how traffic is
Mhm.
in downtown Elgin, things like that, and say, well,
Very
there's
good.
a big, huge traffic jam on Kimball Street, so
Mhm.
try to avoid it, go somewhere else.
Yep.
Will help, may help allow staff to be able to redirect traffic when it needs to be.
Mhm.
And so just those some of those positive upgrades. And we've had uh, brief discussions going on and on about AI, computer technology, and how is it going to impact every city and every community. And it's hard for us to keep up, just like it is for everybody else.
Mhm.
So, what are the benefits for us? What can we do to improve? How do we make use of these tools to the best of our to the betterment of our community and to the betterment of our staff and our employees? And so, it's going to be a constant challenge for our IT department to help do that. And this will be part of that. You're seeing a lot of money being spent on software upgrades, and that's part of the reason for that. Is the technology is moving so fast. We want to be as good as we can as a city, and that's where some of this is going to go. We're going to see how these things work out for us, and we're always looking for comments back
Yep.
um, to either this show or to back to City Hall as to how it impacts people as individuals.
Absolutely.
And
So, folks, again, the phone lines are open. If you want to give us a call today, if you have any questions, that's 847-931-1410. You can also text us at 505-926-1410 or shoot us a message in our YouTube chat line at youtube.com/WRMN radio. We have another initiative here, and this is talking about the sports complex. Now, this has been a very exciting one. I know a lot of
yeah.
people are excited about the Elgin Sports Complex and the expansion. So let's talk a little bit about this.
Yes, and this is we're looking at having the opening, I believe, sometime early summer. I don't like to put dates on anything, so
Mhm.
let's just say early summer for the sports complex and the new traffic flow that's going to go through there, and the soccer fields that are going to be part of that. Part of what we had discussed last night are both some upgrades to existing soccer fields that have to be upgraded. They've been used, and they get a little bit torn up, so there have to be some upgrades and some improvements to those. And there's engineering now work going out to do that.
Mm.
So it's going to be the whole package. I believe there are 4 older soccer fields, and we're going to take a look at all of them. 2 are scheduled to be worked on this year, and the other 2 may be coming up in the future. But all of these things are going to go out, and the property is going to be the I have to go back and do some old testing because of the length of some of the stuff that's been going on at the sports complex. Some work has to be redone
Mhm.
and revisited to finish the project, but it's all working towards the final conclusion of having this ready to go this summer.
That's
And we want to
exciting.
have people be able to make use of this as best we can. And again, it's always a learning curve for us how this is going to work out, but we hope to have the ribbon cutting here and the grand opening early this summer and create a great summer for everybody for outdoor activities. And that's all part of what we've talked about with cultural arts and the entertainment that is going to go on in Elgin. And
Mhm.
what are you going to do in Elgin this summer? What's the
Yep.
summer going to be like for us?
A lot of great things are coming up. So, folks, if you want to read a little bit more about it, you can go to elginvideo.cityofelgin.org. It's / our internet channel, and it does have, again, the committee of the whole and regular meetings, city council meeting agenda. That's all on there. You'll be able to find it for yourself. So, don't hesitate to take a look at that too. If we move a little bit further into the regular meeting here, I know that there were a couple different things that you wanted to mention to us, especially there was the ordinance amending that was the Elgin Municipal Code to provide for a new chapter entitled Retail Single Use Bags.
Yes, and that the final vote was at the council meeting was last night,
Hmm.
and the next step would be that um, the next step for that process now to be finished. There was only one comment on it, and that involved uh, the number of businesses and the size and the businesses that are there. And
Mhm.
the bag ordinance will be for businesses that have over 250 full-time employees. And
Okay.
this is just a little clerical problem, but the proposal passed 6-2. And so the bag ordinance now will go to the consent agenda um, at the next council meeting, and then it'll be finalized and will take effect in June of 2027.
Okay.
One other thing that I think is worth talking about, and as part of this, the state of Illinois has started to move forward a little bit quicker on their bag ordinance.
Okay.
And if that passes, that will, because of the supremacy clauses, will take precedent over the city of Elgin's bag ordinance.
Okay.
And this ordinance that they're proposing would be statewide. So it would include that
Mhm.
was one of the comments brought back by local businesses. It puts Elgin at a disadvantage, and they wanted to see a more level playing field. And if the state ordinance passes, it would involve everybody. And their proposal is a little bit more complex. The one that's proposed right now is a little bit more complex. And again, these are proposed. They haven't been finalized. They haven't been pushed through committee yet. But the proposal out there is a complete ban on bags of all kinds coming out of stores.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you would be you're going to have to carry your own bag.
Mhm.
And the idea for them is that it will start out at a 10%, 10 cent, excuse me, 10-cent charge for each bag that you take, whether it's paper or plastic. The next year it would be increased by a nickel, and it would go like that up until the point it was a quarter, over 5 years. And until the time that 90% of the bags that are presently being used in the state of Illinois are removed from the system. So that'll take us into the 2030, and it's much more strict than what our ordinance was because it's going to include everybody, was
Mhm.
my understanding. And that um, uh, I think, people ask, well, it's more fair. Is it more fair? Yeah, it is between cities, but it's going to be a little bit more restrictive. But that's the conversation that we have.
Mhm.
And this is not unusual. The city of Elgin has taken kind of a jump on this. And whether we had a little bit of help the initiative move forward at a quicker rate, I can't say. But
Mhm.
that's out there. And so ours will take effect in 2027. If the state of Illinois takes effect, it will also take effect in 2027. So
Okay.
we'll see where that goes, but plays out. But as it stands currently, the Elgin ordinance will be become law here in June of 2027.
Okay. Let's see what's next on the agenda list. Was there something else in particular that you wanted to mention?
Yes, this was the last thing, and this was just a conversation that was had by the city council. We were asked by Metro West Council of Government to comment back on a proposal that's coming to the through the state house. It's House Bill number 52 or 5626, and this will be to the General Assembly. And this is really talking about housing and changes in housing and zoning. And these are very, very significant changes that would occur in zoning ordinance in the city of Elgin and how we construct houses, what
Mhm.
happens in neighborhoods. And the city council we had a brief discussion. Staff had some comments to make. We're going to take all our comments, put them back together, and have staff send them on to Metro West Council of Government so they'll go to the governor's desk to make sure that he knows what our feelings are in the city of Elgin. And the council is directed that we would like to have neighborhood associations to take a look at this. They can contact community development and Mark Malat at the city of Elgin and get a copy of this if they'd like to see it. Or they can contact and go to the state of Illinois and look up House Bill 5626 and get the bill. It's about 40 pages long, but there are a number of moving parts with this thing. And really, because of supremacy law, this law, if it's passed, will take precedent over the city of Elgin's zoning laws and some very, very important things, including I raised one question. And one of the things that struck me, they're looking at increasing the ability to build apartment buildings and the
Mhm.
availability to do that. And they would like to see them built into residential neighborhoods. Currently, any area of the city of Elgin that is currently zoned residential would be allowed to put apartment buildings in those areas. And I used my own home as an example. We live on a half acre in Eagle Heights. Our house was built in the 1960s.
Mhm.
And I raised the question to Mark Malat. According to what I read in this new House bill, is I could take and knock down my house and build apartment buildings on that property,
Mhm.
8 apartment buildings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yes, that's an oh wow.
Yeah.
In the middle of a residential neighborhood with ranch style houses and different styles of houses. Uh, or I could build townhouses, 8 townhouses. And I asked Mark, what would the city's zoning law be affected? He said they couldn't do anything about it.
Hmm.
So the city's law would be superseded by the state of Illinois, and the state of Illinois would determine what could be built on there,
Okay.
including the setbacks from property lines, how close they are, the density, number of the parking issues that one of the issues that were brought up, and that's why it should go back to neighborhoods was about parking. There would be no parking restrictions on
Okay.
these. So they would open it up so anybody that builds an apartment building, they would assume they're going to park on the street.
Okay.
And we've gone a long way to try to make sure in certain areas of our community that we have parking restrictions to make sure that a building has available parking. This would also take precedence over that. So I would recommend that people try to, there are so many moving parts to this. I think you need really have to take a look at this, and each neighborhood association should take a close look at it.
Mhm.
How does it impact you? And we've gone for years to try to make things uh, be a certain way. And because of the way that our community is built, parking is a huge issue in some areas on street parking.
Mhm.
And for an apartment building to be taken and built into an existing residential neighborhood where there may not be available on street parking would create a real hardship for
Mhm.
some people. They may find themselves having to park a block or two from home to be
Yeah.
able to create some issues here, and it's still being proposed at the state level, but they're looking for comments back, and we would like to make those comments as to how we're doing. One of the things that we had Chief Sagan come in. It goes to fire and safety. They have made a recommendation for uh, fire safety in an apartment building that they would allow only one a stairway out if it's sprinklered. And our ordinance here for years has been two. They wanted two exits.
Mhm.
And Chief Sagan says that he would be in agreement if the whole building was sprinkled, but that's not the way the ordinance is proposed.
Yeah.
They would just propose sprinklers in the stairwell. And he said if the whole building was sprinkled, he said he would have a little bit different look at it. But these are very, very significant changes to the way that our building and our zoning ordinances are proposed and are going to go forward. So this is going to be going out to all the communities in the Fox Valley, and I believe virtually every council of government. Those are like Metro West, where they represent many, many communities, are going to comment back. Where it ends up, I always talk about this like making sausage. Where does it come out? You have to chew on it for a while and
Mhm.
grind it up a little bit, and to see how it impacts people. But it's certainly going to impact every community a little bit differently than it does uh, certain neighbors. And I think that's one of the issues that was brought up. It goes back to some affordable housing. We've done a really good job here in the city of Elgin for the last 20 years to try to make housing more affordable. As an example, Elgin has more affordable housing than any of our neighbors around us. Our affordable housing is in the high 50% level. So we already have affordable housing in our neighborhood and
Hmm.
in our community. So I ask, well, why is it essential to do that? There's some miscommunication here. There's some overlap. They talked about whether home rule communities are going to be responsible for some of this.
Hmm.
So those are communities over 25,000 people, of which Elgin is a home rule community. But it is going to impact every village and every community in the state of Illinois if this passes
Hmm.
to increase the amount of affordable housing availability. And some of our neighbors are on restricted lists. They don't have enough affordable housing. So they do have to make some changes. And but it's not a one shoe fits everybody.
Hmm.
It's going to have to be a discussion for thing. But um, right now, from what I'm seeing from state legislature, this is probably one of the biggest bills that's going to be trying to go through the state house. And if this passes, this would take effect again next year and
Okay.
supersede all our zoning ordinances. And we'll be going back to the drawing board. And uh, Mark Malott from Community Development did a lengthy presentation. You can view that again on the tape from last night. Too many moving parts to talk about today,
Hmm.
and some of them would be way outside of my expertise to talk about, and it's through Mark's knowledge of our zoning ordinances, what these do. One of the things thing that we talk a lot about setbacks and density, and it changes the setbacks from property lines to build an apartment building to 5 feet. So that means an apartment building, if it's put into an existing neighborhood could be 5 feet from your property line, and there's nothing that could be done about it from a local level.
Okay.
So that's the kind of discussion that we have, but we
Hmm.
need feedback, or looking for feedback from neighborhood associations and groups in the city of Elgin to participate in this. And it doesn't get any better than that, and that's what grassroots politics and involvement is about. You have to speak up. You have to get your voice out there, and that's what we're trying to do on this House bill.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a big one. A lot of people are going to be concerned about it, but if people want to reach out, specifically, how can people reach out? I mean, the city of Elgin, how can they reach out if they have any
Yeah, I
questions,
would
things like that?
contact Mark Malott, and you can contact Mark Malott at the City of Elgin, and he can provide you with the documentation that he's got. You can also go on the State of Illinois' website and research House Bill 5626 for yourself and read the House bill as to where the direction that they're headed, and that's very, very detailed. And again, it's 40 pages long. It includes fire safety, it includes zoning setbacks, it includes apartments,
Hmm.
what size lot. Um, the lot sizes can go all the way down to 2,500 square feet. So you could have pretty small lot. Talks about putting like one thing that just came to mind is people have talked about in some of the older neighborhoods in Elgin, they have carriage houses in the back of a property.
Hmm.
And a carriage house is was it what it was intended, where they kept, it might have been an old barn or carriage, but somebody could have lived above it,
Hmm.
and as that. But this now would be translated into doing something more like a mother-in-law's apartment or an apartment for somebody else. Could be built on the back of an existing residential lot,
Hmm.
and those could happen anywhere in the city, and allow somebody to do that. And again, it's a zoning thing that some areas in Elgin are they're not allowed because of the setbacks. But again, the state law would take precedence over our zoning. So it opens up increased housing availability, but it also creates issues for us that we would like to have discussion about, and people need to talk about for their neighborhood. And each individual neighborhood's a little bit different.
Hmm.
And even in our big city here, from large size lots in the Neenah neighborhood to smaller lots in the Southwest area neighborhood, for example. Please take a look at this and comment back. And we need to do it in a hurry. It's got to be. We want to make sure this gets out there to the governor's desk as quickly as possible.
So again, how can people find more information to reach out?
Call Mark Malott at the City of Elgin. Contact him, or you can go on the State of Illinois website and look at current activity under House Bill 5626.
Okay, there we go. So, folks, again, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or you have any comments. That is, again, Mark Malott at Community Development. You can find that at elginil.gov. Again, elginil.gov. Please share your feedback. It is definitely needed. And so don't hesitate to do so. You can also call the City of Elgin as well. Check out their website, cityofelgin.org or elginil.gov, for more information. We only have a couple minutes left. Was there anything else that you would like to leave us with before we head on out?
No, we're going into the spring season, and again, best opportunity is take a look and start planning your summer out, especially if
Mhm.
you have children. What do you want to do if you're planning your vacations? Where do you want to go? It's a good time to do that. They're finalizing all of the events for the city of Elgin, including the movies in the park, concerts that are going to be going on,
Mhm.
festivals that are here, and there are going to be some a number of new things in the city of Elgin, and as I said, virtually every weekend is going to have something on it. So try to plan around, and uh, we start looking at. We had a brief conversation last night. I had a brief conversation with some of the people from the Chamber of Commerce, and we talk about how things change day by day for us. And gasoline costs are going to go up, and maybe it's a good time to take a look at a staycation this
Mhm.
summer and spend some time at home and look for a weekend instead of trying to travel out to someplace else. Maybe look and see if there's some good things to do in the city of Elgin and through our cultural arts and events people. We're trying to do the best we can do for that and enjoy the sports and the outdoors that are out here and do those things in the city of Elgin as well. So
Definitely.
enjoy the summer. I think that's something we'll be talking about as we go on here and over the next few months. And great place to live. Elgin's still a great place to live, and we want people to make sure that they feel safe, and we're still working to do that and make sure that people safe and are able to go out and enjoy themselves in our community.
There you go. And a lot of the trails, biking trails, hiking trails. There's a whole website you can go on to view all of it, all that good stuff. So definitely do that. And again, it's a beautiful sunny day outside today, so you
Yeah,
can
it
start
is.
going
Go
outside
out
and
and enjoy yourself. Yep.
absolutely.
So
Well,
enjoy yourself, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
very good. Again, thank you so much for taking the time and energy to come into the station today. Always greatly appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
Absolutely.